Are you commenting?
I'm just saying, I'm getting them. And they're
Oh.
just, you know, sharing. Enjoy your night, sir.
We're good.
All right. Somebody be ready to record.
We're good.
I'm already recording?
Yeah.
Well, welcome guys to January's Kickstart. We're pretty excited about it. And for all you guys that are not here today, your books are here. So you just swing by and pick it up or arrange a time and we'll get it to you. So just as we get to start.
It's not charged. It's not working.
Okay, I know how to use technology. So our vision here at Senior Fit is to empower individuals to be the best version of themselves. And just a little bit of background and things we're going to cover today is, you know, some introductions, let everybody know who they are. You already got your handouts and materials, but I'll go into that. I'll explain the meal plan and how that works, as well as give you some tips for success, review some of the supplements that can help you, and then open up for question and answer. Everybody today should have received an email, like probably within the last 2 hours or so, that said, hey, welcome to Catalyst Coach or something like that. And it's an app that you can click to download in the Kickstart. So you can look into your email, see if you have it. If you didn't, let us know. We'll resend it to you. And you're going to get notifications on there that's just going to help you with your habits as you go through. Also, weekly, your meal plans are going to come through there. If you don't get it through there, it'll come through your email automatically. So either come through your app or through your email. And there's also be a lot of tips. So you're going to get a lot of help and resource. On the back end, we're also able to see if you answer some questions like, you know, did you drink your water today? Did you follow your healthy habit? Did you do your 2 minutes of exercise or of meditation and positive thinking? And if you click yes to those things, I can see on the back end how you're doing with your habits. You know, so it's going to be a really cool thing. And we're going to use as a tool to see who's awarded the winner as well, you know, through the Kickstart. So it's not just going to be weight only or total weight. Our real goal is to help people develop a healthy habit for long-term success. So a little bit about myself. I'm the founder of Senior Fit. Started about 10 years ago in my living room after losing about 40 pounds. Struggled with weight for a long period of time. And finally, one of my mentors, he was doing something different in his medical practice and said, Evans, you can work out with me. Didn't really get excited about the exercise, but I liked being with him. And I learned about metabolism and it changed the game. After I lost the weight, I started a company. And it was a great extension of one of my personal core values, which is empowering others. And through that, the business now has grown. In 2017, we were recognized as Fitness Business of the Year for North America, which is really cool. And then even this month, or last month, we got awarded a Fitness Business of the Month for a local organization. So we're excited about helping people lose weight, fit their clothes better, increase their confidence in their energy. And we use that through tools that help speed up metabolism. You know, so it's really, really important to us with that. Our office manager is Alyssa, so everybody should be familiar with her. So, and then also we have our marketing manager over there, Miss Diana. And they're going to be assisting along with the trainers, but predominantly the office staff is going to be really assisting you guys as you go through some of the gears. So if you have questions, don't hesitate to email. You can ask questions in the app, and it goes right to my email as well. So it's a very, very convenient tool to help you. So let's look into these binders. So you can open up, you'll see the philosophy in there is about right foods, right combinations, right portions, and right timing. So I'm gonna walk through with you in the app. This little booklet, you know, most of you guys have it. Scott, yours is actually tied into your binder. So that small book, your food journal, is actually in there as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Everybody else, they have a food journal separate, and then you can literally put in what was your initial weights on the first page, week 1, week 2, week 3, and then your final weight. And then you're going to record exactly what you're eating. So when we dial into the plan, you'll see you're going to say what time you ate, and then you'll say I had 3 ounces of chicken, I had half a cup of rice, I had a couple of vegetables, I had 30 olives or something like that, and that'd be a
40.
3 or 30. 3 olives, that's it? Thought you liked them.
Dude, 30. I think that's a whole jar.
Oh, I don't know. I don't eat olives. So I had 10 olives, and then I had, you know, a tablespoon of avocado, you know, and then, or, you know, some olive oil. And that would have been a 3-unit meal. But you want that in detail. I don't want to just see chicken or rice, you know. So it's important that you do that. As we go through, though, in your binder, you will see, let me move this here. Forgive me, I'm having a slight physical challenge here. The first page you'll see, it just talks about what are the benefits of losing fat. So we'll talk about how it can reduce migraines and reduce depression, sleep apnea and asthma, cardiovascular disease, all have great benefits as we decrease that. Over this overview, I'm not going to read every page to you, so you guys can definitely read into it and take time to dig into it. But I really want to kind of share with you some of the pieces that are in there. But that's the philosophy, is having the right foods, meaning healthy foods, right combinations, right portions. So what's right foods? When we look, we see right foods are fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean meats, poultry, seafood, dairy for some, and legumes, those are your beans, so those are nice whole foods. Most of the time we should eat something that is considered a whole food. Now, at times, because of our busy schedules, we're going to put snacks and other things in there, but the less steps it takes for that item to go from original, like, design to whatever you're eating, the healthier it typically is. So that's a right food, something that's what's called nutrient dense. Right combinations, that has to do with how much protein, carbs, and fat you're getting. So every time you eat, you should get protein in, you should get carbs in, and you should get fat in every single meal. Now, the way the system is designed through Balanced Habits is to ensure that you keep it very simple. So this is not a diet plan, this is a food plan, or it's a different way of eating the same foods you normally eat. So it shouldn't be hard. So when we think of certain foods like eggs, even though eggs have fat in them, for our purposes, eggs is a protein. And then we have things like beans, which is, beans have a little bit of protein in it, but beans are really a carbohydrate. So it's very, very simple. Almonds and nuts and seeds, they have a little bit of protein in it, but it's really a fat. So it's a real simple way of looking at your food as we look at that. But the reality is that everybody has a different combination that they need to unlock their metabolism. So that's the idea of right combinations. And that's why you'll see sometimes people eat foods and they go, oh, I eat fairly healthy, but they still can't reach the body composition they desire. It's because they're not eating the right combination for their body. And then right portions has to do with your units. So I'm going to spend some time on here. I really would like you guys to ask questions if you have it. But you have 3 macronutrients, meaning all calories break down into something called macronutrients, or large units. Those things are called proteins, carbs, and fat. So to make your life simple, to figure out how much protein, carbs, and fat you need, you won't need a calculator. You just think of this idea of units. Now, when I say 1 unit, I mean 7 grams of protein, 9 grams of carbs, and 3 grams of fat.
That's not measured. That's a unit. Grams as in, you're not measuring 7 grams on a scale.
Correct.
9
Correct.
grams on
Correct.
a scale.
So just kind of answer that question really quick. If you flip in your journal all the way to the back, it says Pack and Go Ideas. So you go all the way to the back. It's probably the second or third to the last page. Actually, I think, second to the last page. It says Pack and Go Ideas. These are all units. So if you look at 1 whole egg, if you go look up an egg on a nutritional thing, an egg is about 6 grams of protein. Well, we say a unit is 7 grams of protein. Here's the deal. Your body is not going to be like, oh man, you were 1 gram of protein off. So it's close enough. So again, none of us are trying to do a bodybuilding show, in the next couple of weeks. So we don't have to dial it in so tight. We just want to be fit. We want to be healthy, right? So 2 egg whites is really about 8 grams of protein. But for our purposes, it's just 1 unit still. So when we say, hey, you're going to have 1 unit or 3 units, let's say, for a meal, that means you can have 3 of the things in the protein, 3 units of carbs, and 3 units of fat. So if you look on your sheet here, if you said, well, I want to make breakfast and I want to make an omelet, you can say 2 egg whites, I'm going to multiply that by 2 and get 4 egg whites. So that's 2 units of there. And then I may want to have an ounce of cheese for my omelet, and that's my 3 units of protein. And then I still need to get 3 units of carbs and 3 units of fat, because 3 means 3, 3, and 3. So then I look over my carbs and I go, I want to put some vegetables in my omelet. So I look down at the bottom, it says 1 cup of cooked veggies. So I take a cup of cooked spinach and that's my my 1 unit of spinach. Of carbs there, and then I go, I want some toast. So I made you some. It says half of a multigrain sandwich thin. So I do a whole sandwich thin. You know, Arnold's have those sandwich wraps thins. Yeah, so I can do it as my sandwich thin, right? And then I go, I still need some fat because I have my carbs now. I have my protein. I need 3 units of fat. Well, Evans loves peanut butter. So I'm going to toast that sandwich then, and I look at how much peanut butter can I have. And it says, hey, peanut butter, natural peanut butter. Skippy makes a natural, or Jif make a natural peanut butter. And I can have 3 units, so that's 1.5 teaspoons of peanut butter.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so let's say I don't want that much. I want 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, and then I'll have 2 almonds. Yeah. And I can mix match as much as I want. I can take 1 and multiply by 3, or I can have 3 different ones. But that's how I figure out my portion count. You know, so it makes it really, really simple. And I use the Pack and Dough. I literally have a copy of this on my fridge. So if you came to my house, you see it, I photocopy, I just put it on the fridge. So then I go, okay, I need a 4-unit meal. I need this, 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 and this. And you go ahead, sir.
I always associated, not to get off track with you, but cheese, I always associated that with fat. But it was actually a protein, and that kind of messed me up the first time I went around, because I was adding the cheese in as a fat, but it's not. I guess
it's a protein. It's a complete protein that is high in fat. So let's talk about this. Look back on the protein things, and you'll see that there's these things that are starred. You see it says starred next to 1 slice of turkey bacon, or starred next to 1 ounce of cheese.
Oh, yes.
What that means is that the item is higher in saturated fat. So you should only have 1 unit of those per meal. So if I wanted to have bacon, turkey bacon with my breakfast, then I wouldn't have turkey bacon and cheese.
Okay.
Because now I have 2 things that are higher in saturated fat, and now I'm overdoing it on my fat content.
Keep the bacon. So
keep the bacon, and we do an egg white omelet with bacon in it.
Right.
And that's how you would kind of do that scenario. You know, so you'll realize that if you were super analytical and you're calculating all the calories, some meals you do a little bit more, some meals you do a little bit less. But if you stick to the units, your life becomes very, very easy. You know, you can literally go to the store and pick up some chicken sausage and look at the label, and it goes, what is chicken sausage? Is that a protein, carb, or fat?
Oh, chicken sausage? It's a protein.
It's protein, absolutely. So you can look and be like, okay, it's kind of low in fat, and I got that. And it says 1 link in 7 grams. That's 1 unit. I can have 3 links, you know, and I can now have this chicken sausage, you know, but now you can start reading a label and picking the foods based on things that you may like. Say again?
Put that in your egg. Yeah,
and you can put that in your egg, and that gives it a nice flavor and everything else. So those are some options that you can do with it, but that's the idea. So when we say 3-unit meal, it's 3 units of protein, 3 units of carbs, 3 units of fat. So when we look at timing, you should look at your meal plan. So if we open this up, this is going to help you with timing. So for some of you guys, it's every 3 hours you have to eat, and some of you is every 4 hours. So if we scroll back to the week 1 portion sheet, up top it tells you how many units you get per day. So yep. So Clement, how many units you get per day?
16 units per day.
16 units per day. And then it tells you, listen, you should drink about X amount of water between every meal. And then it says, hey, make a 3-unit portion of one of these meals. And we'll go into that in a second. I'll show you how to read it. But basically on the right, it tells this person here that they have 3, 2, 2, 2, 2. This person that I'm reading, they get 11 units. So they get 3, 2, 2, 2, 2. It means all their meals are 2 except for the first one. They have to eat 5 meals per day. There's some people that have to eat 4 meals per day. Everybody's meal plan is going to be a little bit different. Are you with me? Okay, cool. So and it'll tell you have to wait 4 hours or 3 hours. 4 hours means 3.5 to 4.5. 3 hours means 2.5 to 3.5. We understand life happens. Now, in between meals, we don't eat anything. We just drink water. And the reason why, because even initially, if you are getting a little hungry in between the meals, that's okay. We want your body to use that time to eat away at fat cells. So we don't want to like stop it with a grape or with some olives or with some nuts, talking about it's just a small snack. We want your body to eat away fat, you know, and then we'll talk about the game plan after it. So this helps regulate your blood sugar, which is really, really important. You know, maintaining blood sugar allows you to maintain insulin, which allows you to keep fat off. which is really important. And it helps jumpstart that metabolism. So each week we're going to meet, each week, except for week 3, each week we're going to meet in person. And what we'll do is do a quick weigh-in, and then we're going to review your journal. The meeting is about 10 minutes long. So it's a pretty fast meeting. It's just checking how you're doing with your meal plan. What other quick question you have is not a nutritional coaching session like we do in our metabolic coaching program. It's a quick check-in and see how you're doing with all the pieces in there. So it's a little bit like it, but not all the way. But so I'll look at your journal, maybe highlight some things, give you quick checks, and then we meet again the following week, in there. And then also, some tips that can help you become successful is you don't have to finish all your food. So initially, sometimes you may feel like, and you'll see when we start going into the recipes and dialing into the book in a moment, initially you may feel like, man, this is just a lot of food. I can't get all this food in, and it's okay. Even if you can't finish it, we say, try to eat all your protein at least. And then just eat every time you're supposed to eat. Eventually, what happens is that your metabolism will speed up. So if you're not hungry, most people who struggle with weight, at some point they just overate. But many times by the time they're our client, they're eating 1 or 2 meals a day. They're under eating dramatically. And so their metabolism has slowed down. So they stop being hungry. Think about it. If you're starving to death, your body doesn't want you to feel the pain of starvation. So it just decreases your metabolism, your need for it. So it's called satiety, and those satiety cues are off balance. So people are like, I eat 1 or 2 meals a day, So now we're saying, hey, we want to tell your body. It's kind of like the government just finished coming out of their shutdown, right? And it's like, hey, well, the government's in shutdown, I'm not buying anything, But then once I get a paycheck, it's like, okay, yeah, I did like, oh yeah, I could buy that. I like that expensive cheese if I'm Scott. I'm gonna look at other things because I can afford it. But similarly, you want to let your metabolism know that food is going to be coming in regularly, so it's okay to spend the fat.
Now, at meal times, is there a specific time and how long you have to eat your meal? Because sometimes I may take 10, 15, 20 minutes, just pick at it. You know what I mean?
No.
Or do you need to gobble it down and
No.
wait another 3 hours?
No. It's recommended we eat slowly. I don't eat slowly. I'm one of those people you turn around and like, what happened to your food? I'm like, but I stick to my portions.
Military.
Yeah, probably. It's so funny when I was eating like that before I was in the military. So at basic training, they used to run around and try to scream at you, to intimidate you when it's time to eat your food and drink your 3 beverages. And I'd be done before they come. That was the funniest thing. I'm like, man, I can go back for seconds,
That's why I slowed down from being a picky eater and enjoying my food.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So your timeline doesn't matter. It's just that when you stop eating, you stop eating. Now, let's say if you miss your window. So let's say you got a lot of things going on, you're ripping and running, you realize, my goodness, it's 4 hours or it's 5 hours and I didn't eat yet.
Yeah.
You just pick up where you left off. You eat then, and then you add another 4 hours to the next meal. Okay. So that's how you do that. So if you don't finish, don't worry, you will start getting hungry. If you're hungry at mealtime, still eat. So it's really important that you still eat even if you're not hungry at mealtime. Nothing in between meals. No, like, oh, it's just a small piece of fruit. No, it's just a pretzel.
How about liquids?
Water.
Just water, no like green tea?
Green tea is fine.
Okay.
So we don't want to add any sugar.
Right.
In our body in between meals. So no macronutrients added. So if I add in some tea, I'm getting what's called phytonutrients, plant-based chemicals that help my body function better. So there's nothing wrong with that. We have our Twist-to-Go's that we use here, and you can squeeze that into 16 ounces of water, and that's something that you can drink.
Stevia or Truvia or something like that.
Absolutely. Okay. But, you just want to drink water in between your meals. So besides that, no food or no macronutrients come in. That's a big piece in there. And if you're tired of carrying around your journal, you can leave it at home, take pictures of your food. So that's a convenient thing to do. It's kind of like, oh, this is what I ate, and do it in there. And I tell you, the best way to win is to pre-plan your day. So, instead of being reactive and saying, okay, this is what I ate, be proactive and say, okay, I'm going to take 5 minutes and go, what do I want to eat today? And I can just write those things down. Now, once we go through the recipes, you're going to realize that it may be fun just to follow the recipes in there, because the recipes are designed that everyone can eat the same foods, just at different portions. So some people like the recipes and some people don't. It's just dealer's choice. If you want to do pack and go, you can do that. But if not, you get some really, really cool recipes, you know. And don't forget what food is a unit. You know, so don't forget, like, this is a unit of this. Don't take a picture of that sheet, save it. The same one I talked about in my fridge, I take a picture of that sheet and have it in my phone so I can use it at all times, you know. So before we go into the supplements, I really want to dive into the book and go to your meal plan. So if everybody goes to week 1, you know, so you have your units, they're set out, and then when you go to you go to your units page, it says, hey, make a creamy chocolate smoothie 4 units, or eggs and toast recipe, or the morning treat. So Sherry, tell us which one we should get. Just from those 3 names.
Sorry, I was reading.
Okay, so meal 1, it says choose one of these 3 meals. Which one of those 3 meals are you picking?
Let me back up a little bit. Meal 1, I would go with the toast and eggs.
Toast and eggs. So if you don't want to see the toast and eggs recipe, then what you're going to do is turn over to where the recipes are under week 1. And at the bottom, you're going to see it says recipe A, recipe B. So then it gives you some tips here. It says, hey, you know, make eggs as desired, you know, using the following options. You can do a 1/4 cup of egg beaters if you want. That's the equivalent of 1 whole egg. 2 egg whites is the same as 1 whole egg, or a 1/4 cup of egg whites. Right? So it says, and then you look, do you have a 3-unit meal, a 4-unit meal, a 5-unit? What's yours for breakfast?
3.
3 units. So that means you get 1 whole egg, 3 egg whites, half an ounce of shredded cheese, you know, and a bread that totals 18 grams of carbs. And then you also get 1.5 teaspoons of butter and an apple, half of an apple. She's like, man, that's a lot of food.
Actually, it is.
Yeah.
The 3 egg whites, is there is that like a 1/4 cup or?
Great question. So if you look over here, you can crack 3 egg whites, or it shows that 2 egg whites is equivalent to a whole egg,
Like
or
an
a 1/4.
beaters?
2 egg whites is the same as a 1/4 of an egg white, a 1/4 cup of egg whites. So it'd be like
Oh, okay. Yeah.
a
like
1/3
egg
cup
beaters.
of egg whites.
Okay.
You know, so that would be your meal there. Me, I just crack the 3 eggs and do the little shake thing and keep on going with it. But that's your meal. Now, Clement, how much is your first meal? Is it 3 units as well? 4 units. So if you wanted the same thing, you do 1 whole egg, 5 egg whites, half an ounce of cheese, a total bread that has a total of 18 grams of carbs, 1.5 teaspoons of real butter, and then you have a whole apple with that as well.
Dang.
Woo.
Dang.
Got lots of food
You're the
from
man
this
to be
week.
envied. You know?
Right.
So that's how you pick it out. Now, if you say, hey, I wanted a shake for breakfast, or I wanted that morning treat, then you look over and you can see the morning treat is a recipe that you can make of like these egg bites or something like that you can make with it. You know, so you make these like cookies and whole eggs, and it breaks down the portion for that. So this is great for someone who says, hey, I could bake on Sunday and I could have all my food set aside, because in breakfast time, I don't have time to eat a lot of food. You know, so that's something that someone can do with that. And if you go to recipe A really quick, you can see that that's just a protein shake, you know?
Yeah.
So now it says 21 grams of protein powder. So if you, let's say you use the protein powder we have here, it has 25 grams per serving. So 21 grams, just a little bit less
In the cup.
than the full scoop. Yeah. You know, so you don't have to get like, oh, I have to weigh out 21 grams. It's not like that. It's really based on what the portion size is per scoop. So if you have a protein shake and it has 10 grams of protein in it, then you know you got to do 2 scoops roughly in there. But then if it was Clement on this, it'd be 28 grams. So it'd be like a heaping scoop, maybe 6 ounces of a milk of your choice. So I know you like the almond milk or coconut milk. So you can do that in there. And then you can still have 2 tablespoons of a low-fat sour cream, some ice, and then some almonds or cashews or another nut. And then that would be the meal that you have in there.
Wow.
So that's how you build out your meal. So there's recipes in there. Now, every week you get a host of recipes. You know, you can use recipes in week 1 and week 3, so you can still, you don't have to each week.
Right.
If you have a favorite recipe, you can reuse that recipe in the following weeks. Is this, you're just staying to whatever your unit recommendations are. Questions for me? Yeah. I would recommend that you guys look through and try some of them, because especially this time of the year, people like things like chili and all those kind of stuff. And some of those recipes are in there, so or stir fry recipes, or like this is the winter white turkey chili recipe with baked pita chips.
Right.
That sounds
That looks
delicious.
Yeah. So that's recipe K. So then you can go through and find K and be like, oh, okay, cool. And it gives you, hey, this is the type of recipe you can have. And that looks like a really good meal. And that's actually a real picture of each of the things, Lona Cowan Fetter, she does a really good job of that. So then you can see. Now, if you see on this recipe here, it says EVOO. Does anybody know what that is?
Oh,
Extra virgin olive oil.
That's exactly what it is.
Ew.
That's what it is.
Evo.
So important to know that, because you'd be like, I need some Evo or Evu, and nobody knows what you're talking about. Also, when you look at seasonings, let's say if you don't like spicy food, and it says 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper in the seasoning, then you just don't put the cayenne pepper in. Or jalapeno pepper, you just don't put it in. So you can still flavor it. When it comes to seasonings, you can add any seasonings you like, as long as they're dry and I almost said alcoholic, caloric seasonings. So does it make sense for everyone?
Nature's own.
So that's how you build out your meals through it. If you say, I like this recipe, but I don't like mushrooms, then just don't eat the mushrooms. Don't put them in the recipe.
Can we like substitute something as long as it's along the same lines? So
Like what?
say if it asks for peppers, can I put something other than peppers, like mushrooms in it?
Yes.
That type of.
So yes, you can substitute those dark green leafy vegetables or those very low calorie vegetables. Absolutely, you can swap those in there big time. That's not going to have much of an effect.
And zucchini.
Zucchini, again, like almost no calories in
But
zucchini.
not
So
like sugary stuff like carrots.
correct. You can't swap
Or like
carrots,
potatoes.
peas. You can't do that either.
Right.
Potatoes.
Potatoes,
Oh,
you know,
no.
like peppers, potatoes.
Same
Don't have
thing.
peas.
Right.
Doesn't work that way.
Last time they had a lasagna and it was so good, but it was like a 4-inch. I had to get a measuring tape that was 4-inch by 4-inch square, but it was enough. I mean, it was, it's a pretty big hunk, but that was slam.
Yeah.
And that
So
was
We're still
definitely-
eating on it.
Yeah, and that's really cool. And just like he said, these are recipes you can take and use all the time, which is really cool. So let's talk about supplements. There's 4 major supplements we recommend to really help people maximize their results. One is Slimetry. So Slimetry helps enhance weight loss, predominantly at the waist, the belly. It has something they call green ECGC, which comes from green tea. But also, the company Nutrilite has a patent on something called Green Select Phytosome. Green tea has been known to help with fat loss. The challenge is your stomach has acids in it. So the stomach acid destroys green tea. What Phytosome is a patent that allows the green tea to get past your stomach to your small intestines, and that's where we absorb nutrients. So people talk about, I take these vitamins and I can just put it on my tongue, or I drink my vitamins and it gets absorbed faster. That's all false. No matter what form it comes in, absorption of vitamins happens in the small intestines. So it's about how do we get it into the small intestines to be absorbed. But this is a really cool product that helps with belly fat, which is really, really cool. It has, it's caffeine free, which is really, really cool. So for those who are sensitive to caffeine, they don't have to really worry about anything in there. Another really popular supplement, and if someone's a diabetic, it's something they should be taking. Even for non-diabetics, is really good to help regulate blood sugar. It's called Glucose Health. It has a couple cool ingredients in there. One of them is called Garcinia cambogia, and that made a lot of press a couple years ago because it helps with your ability to metabolize carbs. Basically, they make your cells a little bit more sensitive to insulin, so you can process sugar better, which is really cool. It also has something in there called chromium picolinate, and the chromium picolinate was like the first weight loss supplement back in like the 50s or 60s or something like that. It's been known for a long, long time as something to help with insulin sensitivity. We've known for years that it's elevated blood sugar or blood insulin that causes us to gain fat for many people.
Now, does that also stave off the sugar craving after a meal?
It does, if you take it in the right timing. So it'll help
Yeah.
with fat loss, no matter which time you take it. But if you take it 30 minutes before you eat, it helps with sugar cravings.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yes,
Wanting
you know.
that cake after
Mhm.
whatever.
And we know the basis of all, health should be a good quality multivitamin. We like Double X, they're the first multivitamin. So if you Google like multivitamin, Double X is going to come up. They're the first one. And we know it's impossible to get the nutrients you need through food alone. So, Carl Remberg, the guy who actually founded Nutrilite back into the 1930s, he went to China, saw how they were living from the vegetables and everything else, and said, we can get more plant-based foods into our diet. Now, I'm not talking about this whole like vegan, vegetarian agenda. We just know that reality is that we need to eat plants. We also need to eat proteins as well as fats. So he said, man, if we can get these things in, we can get some really cool nutrients. Well, last year we went up to, and we're actually going in 2 weeks. We're actually going to go to the Nutrilite Center of Optimal Health in California. And last time they talked about, they don't just put these cool ingredients in the multivitamin, they literally harvest it at peak, like where you get the most nutrients out of that item, which is really cool. And that's why sometimes you'll see in the vitamin stores, you'll see one supplement that costs like $30 to $40, and you see the same name that costs like $5. Because drug or supplement companies, they sell their trash to each other. So I'll use the most potent pieces, and then you get it, but we both have the same ingredients, and consumers don't know, and it's monitored by the Federal Trade Commission, not the Food and Drug Administration. So, that's the challenge of the supplement industry. What I like is that their multivitamin goes through 500 tests before it reaches the marketplace, which is really, really cool. So it's really awesome. It's energy you can feel all day guarantee, and they have 100% money back guarantee on them as well. And lastly is our energy and focus. Most people call it rhodiola because it's the primary ingredient in there. And what it does, it helps with decreasing stress and increasing energy. So it's a really cool benefit with it. So when you're feeling hyper stressed out, it's something you can take to normalize your blood, not your blood, but your stress levels. And then if you know that you need to focus or have more energy, you don't get the shakes, you're just on.
It's not caffeine.
No, it's just like you're just awake. You're like alert, which is really, really cool. So it's a real powerful supplement that really helps. Some people like it for exercise because it increases our ability to exercise and have endurance throughout exercise. And some people just use it for cognitive health. That's how I use it predominantly. I'm like, okay, take your rhodiola so everybody stays at work.
Because I don't drink caffeine in the mornings, coffee, whatever. And yeah, I take it at 7, and by 8:30, I'm ready to go. I'm going. You know what I mean?
So some important dates, as a part of the Kickstart. Of course, some of you guys are already in the group classes, but you have access to the group classes as well as weekly. We're going to do our weigh-ins. So these are Thursdays and Saturdays. We're going to do the weigh-ins. So you definitely want to like book them out and schedule it in there. The third week though, we're not going to be here. So what we are going to do is a webcast very similar to this. I'm going to ask everybody email me at healthcoach@cnufit.com. Probably want to write it down, but you'll probably get an email as well. Healthcoach@cnufit.com, and you're gonna get a link.
I gotcha.
You're gonna get a link that's good. Ooh, is this mine? No.
Nope.
Just share this.
Email again?
Healthcoach@cnufit.com. And we'll shoot it out as well in the email with this PowerPoint and this presentation. And we're going to do a webcast. It's just going to be a Q&A session. So, if you want, you can send me pictures of your meals and I can answer that beforehand. So if you send it to me before that 7 o'clock webcast. But if not, I'll just be available to answer questions and walk through some pieces. Hey, I'm having a challenge with this. Hey, and don't feel like you can't reach out in between your check-ins. But like in your app, and you will get the pieces, and there's a lot of cool downloadable stuff in there. So there's a lot of tips and things that's going to be available right in the app in there.
Are those in here?
No. But it's going to be in your email.
Okay.
We're going to shoot out an email with this piece in here so everybody knows the date. So okay, boom. And if you don't are familiar with, okay, how do I book this 10-minute, just call. Just literally call the office, Diana or Alyssa. They'll take care of you.
It's not on the web. Just call. It's not on the site.
Yeah, it'll say what is it called? weekly check-in or?
Yeah, but we haven't enabled the ability
Okay,
to book for
right.
nutritional coaching.
Gotcha.
So yeah, the best way is to call in or email, and I'll make sure I get you on the schedule. Okay.
Mhm. And from the time you do your first one, then we'll just, hey, next time at
Mhm.
this time, and we'll just book it out session to session from there.
Absolutely.
And then we have final measurements the last week, and then we'll do the Kickstart celebration on March 8th. Cool things in the celebration. I think, what was that, Pfeiffer you were talking to?
Yes.
So we're developing a relationship with Pfeiffer. Hopefully we get that partnership going before that's done. And the winner gets like a Pfeiffer basket or like Scott won last time, so you get enrolled for free into the next one. Yeah. You really like
Scott's
that.
like really
Yeah.
excited about it.
So we may do two prizes.
Seriously.
We do two prizes. One would be like the food basket for them, and they do a really cool CSA basket if you're not familiar with that.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the winner gets free enrollment into the May Kickstart. So we're going to do these in January, May, and September. January, May, and September. We do these Kickstarts in there. Questions for me?
To start Monday?
Yes.
Okay.
So the reason why I want to do this on a Friday, so you can look through, you can ask questions. Feel free. My email goes to my phone, as well as you can go shopping.
Yeah.
And then okay, boom. Starting Monday, I'm gonna start and see where I'm at. By Thursday, I weigh in and go through that.
Now, for the people who aren't here, when should they pick up their binders if we're supposed to start Monday?
As soon as they can.
Okay.
So if they may start later. They
Mhm.
still get the time in there, but the weeks for everybody starts on the same. It's kind of like college. The class starts, and then it's like, boom, this is when the midterms are due.
Right.
But what if I registered late? Still when midterms are due.
So when you come to do your weigh-ins, just come in shorts, t-shirt,
Yes.
sneakers.
So the same thing that you normally do. So we'll go in the back room, we'll weigh, and we'll be good
Take
to go
some
from there.
Mhm.
If you weigh at home, then you just weigh at home, take a picture of your weight at home, and then we can just talk about your meal plan, because we're not going to do your full measurements until the end.
Oh, you don't do a beginning and an ending?
Yeah, we did your beginning at your last coaching session.
Oh, okay.
So we do your beginning one. Everybody has their beginning. That's how we came up with your units and everything to send. And then what you can do is just take a picture of your scale, and that's your weight in the morning. And then we'll do your wrap-up measurements at the end, so you can see your total measurements. Measuring every week can be daunting on an individual because your body doesn't shift that much each week.
Right.
Mhm.
But over time it does as well. Expected fat loss anywhere between, I'd say, 4 to 12 pounds is very realistic within this time frame.
Oh, yeah.
How much weight did you lose last time?
3 altogether in that
Mhm.
month. I think it was 9, 10, somewhere right around in there.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that was, that was
Mm-hmm.
going at it,
Yeah.
staying with it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Which is really
Consistency
cool.
is key.
So, any other questions?
I think this time it's gonna be a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that it's not time pressed. If say we're out and about and we
Mhm.
don't make it, because the first time go around, we're like, oh, I was supposed to eat, I can't eat now.
Right,
Because we're out and
right.
about doing errands, it's like, oh, yeah.
It's pretty good during the week, but on the weekends, we like to go out and
Mhm.
have to do our things. And sometimes, like you said, time gets away and you don't get to get that meal in when
Mhm.
you're supposed to. So,
Mhm. It's about developing those healthy habits. So as you go around, people may ask you, what's this binder about? And it's okay to let them know, hey, this is about, at Senior Fit, they're doing what's called a Kickstart. They do it a couple times a year. And it's helping people develop healthy habits for long-term success. So even at the end of the Kickstart, we have a balanced life or a metabolic coaching program that's 6 and 12 months long, but you still get like a unit count for those that don't even participate with that can kind of guide you on your own. Now we know that people fail typically because for lack of accountability. So during this month, you will get the knowledge, but of course you'll get the accountability for a month. And then afterwards, if you say, hey, I want to add this, it allows you to add that as well.
Mhm.
But we only do it those 3 times. So it's really good tools and resources to help you during that time, which is really cool. Like I said, things you will need to be successful, and I didn't have it in here, is if you don't have a digital food scale, you'll need a digital food scale. If you don't have measuring spoons and measuring cups, you should have that. If you've never weighed and measured food before, do not put meat on your scale. So you put your plate on your scale, and then you can press the tare button. It should say on, off, tare. And you can press that button, it zeroes out, and then you can put whatever you want to weigh on top of the plate you're going to eat on or store your food in. So it's really important. And then if it's measured in with a measuring cup, I like at the dollar store, they have those measuring cups where you can just scoop and slice right across, and boom, it's in the cup, and you just take it out that way. So you have those spoons all the way to cups, and that makes your life really, really easy in there. So simplify as much as possible. Don't do every single recipe. Don't overwhelm yourself. And remember, 3 units means 3 protein, 3 carbs, 3 fats.
That's on your test when you come in. Evans.
Yeah. Well, you will get these
Ridiculous, or you
quizzes.
write it
So
down.
in your app, and you will get quizzes that are sent to you to make sure you're learning some of the principles that we want you to learn. You know, and that's something I think is going to really help you big time, because there'll be these little check-in quizzes. So you got to get a little bit more bells and whistles in here this time, which is going to be really, really cool. Awesome stuff. Well, I thank you guys. You know, I'm excited to see the success you guys have along the journey. Again, don't hesitate to communicate. Really, really important. You know, if you're stuck on anything, just shoot a quick email, and then we'll hit you back. You know, and then we'll help you from there. And you guys, talk to you soon. Don't forget to come by and pick up your books. All the people in Milford, I'm going to bring your books to Milford on Monday. If you're not here before then, and then everybody else in Dover, just come up here and grab your stuff.
You also can stop by tomorrow and pick them up.
Yes, so here between 7 and 12:45, 1 o'clock, we'll be here, so you can swing by tomorrow and pick it up as well.
Mhm.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you
Is
later.
Milford's doing it too?
Yes.
Okay, so are we doing it combined, or are they
Combined.
doing theirs?